Welcome everyone to Satsang. Noticing that which is aware now. In this noticing, there is a knowing. There is only now. This one who seems to know there is only now, and that which is aware is here now, is immediately liberated, freed from past, from future. This knowing that which is aware is here now knows itself to never have been born. It was always here. Can you see this? Can you see that there doesn't need to be I, me, mine, in order for that which is aware to know that it is aware? Can you see this? Do you see where I'm pointing? Yes, some of you do. This awareness has always been here in many, many forms. It will always be here. Once you know, once there is this knowing, that which is aware is here now. There's a simultaneous knowing that this awareness, this being, consciousness, is eternal. Here before I was born. In this way, it can be seen. I have always been here. In these moments of nowness, of knowing, you can feel it now. You're free. You have no past. Right now, you have no past. In order to know or believe that you have a past, you have to be somebody, not simply aware. If you are here as pristine awareness before any story of I, any belief in a past or a future, simply as that which is aware now, stand firmly on this ground as that. You'll see very clearly there is no past. You are free. You are forgiven if that's what you need. Everything you thought was real, standing here now, has disappeared. It was all in your imagination. Free yourself. Be here now as that which is aware, not as I am aware even. This is a good start, but it's not the finish. Simply knowing that which is aware is here now, free. No past, no future, no birth. Always remaining as that which is aware. Picking up no stories, imagining nothing for this imaginary me. Know yourself as that which is already free. In this way, there is no desire and there is no fear. Desire and fear are the consequence of thinking, I am somebody. I have a story. I am the one who is happy. I am the one who is sad. I was born. I suffer. I will die. This is a consequence of not knowing that now, before all else, that which is aware is here and has always been here and will always be here. Bodies can come and go. Awareness does not go anywhere. It looks out through the eyes of billions of different beings. When it knows itself to be bound by those eyes, by that form, it suffers. When it knows itself to be before all forms, before all seeing, doing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, and thinking, when it knows itself to be before that dynamic display of consciousness, it knows itself to be free, unbound, never bound. Simply here as this nowness. Set yourself free. That which is aware is here now. The same in each and every one of you. In this knowing, there is a sense of contentment, a true happiness that does not depend on circumstances or people, does not depend on the state of the world. It is simply knowing oneself as that which is here, has always been here, will always be here. Eternal presence. You are that. Look toward the source of being until you know this to be true. This is the sadhana of inquiry. This is the purpose of the question, who am I? What is aware here? Know yourself as the self, eternally here, eternally now. Be happy in this knowing. One of the questions that comes up frequently is, why do I keep going back? I seem to be free for a moment, and then I go back. And I'm once again in the story of me. And the other day, I was speaking to a very wise friend of mine, and I had seen a video from many years ago. Someone sent it to me about she was having a conversation with someone who was writing a book about Papaji. And she was living with him in Lucknow at that time, in his house. And the interviewer asked her, but don't you ever go back to your old self, to your old story? Don't you ever? What about this mind? You say the mind is gone, but don't you ever go back? And she said, for some reason, they cut her answer out of the video. She said, but I want you to know what my answer was. And I said, okay, good, very good. She said, when he asked me, don't I ever go back? Don't I ever take up this mind again? The answer that came spontaneously was, how can that which was never born come back? How can that which never existed return? I am that which is always here. Why he cut this out of the video, I don't know. Seems like the most important part to me. But he had a different point to prove, I guess. So when you think that you have only understood what I'm saying to you this evening or today while you're sitting in satsang, and then you just go back to your old self, remind yourself that that which has never been born, that which never existed, you cannot go back to. Set yourself free. Stay now, in this moment, without a past, without a future. Of course, one can say, when you are here now, without a past and without a future, you also have not one little bit of certainty. This is what really terrifies most people. We think because we have a certain kind of consistency, we go through our lives building a certain life, putting together a certain idea of how we should be living, or who we are loving, or where we are living. And we think in this security that somehow we will be safe, or we will be something, whatever your motivation is. But the truth of the matter is that it's only when there's an absolute comfort in uncertainty, when there's a willingness to die in the next breath, that you find out who you are, that you begin to understand something about that which is here, unborn, free, liberated from everything that came before and from every possibility that goes forward. You live as empty space. The kind of emptiness, though, that is not lonely, that's not negative space, the kind of empty space which is full, in which the heart is radiating continuously in every direction on its own. without any interference. So when you experience fear, when you experience the desire for things to be different, for somebody to be different, for me to be different, when all of that comes up, remind yourself that before all of this concern and consideration, I am as being consciousness and bliss. Stop there. Know immediately all is well. Nothing else is needed. All right. Everybody free? Of course you are. Now tell me how you're not. This is what we do. Let's remove your doubt. Hello.
Hello, Rishi. Thank you
Hello.
for the beautiful opportunity to be together. You kind of answered my question, but I wanted to ask it anyway, if you don't mind.
Okay,
Which
good.
has to do with knowing that which is aware here now, which I do at times. I feel it's clear, and in these moments, it's clear that when a thought comes up, that's just a thought. If it's a thought about the past or just a thought, and there's no time and there's nothing I can say it's me in the moment, everything that comes is a sensation, a
Yes.
perception. And yet, it
Mhm.
seems to have to do with a calm mind, say some supportive conditions, let's say.
Mhm.
Other times when there is, more turmoil in the mind and the emotions, and then that space, it's seems out of reach. Of course, I can tell myself who's feeling this emotion, but the experience is not the same.
Yes.
Um, so this seems to be like not an activity. I realize it's not an activity, but it's a subsiding of activities that is necessary to recognize the space.
Mhm.
And but I also want to talk about an experience I had about a year ago at this point, in which the gap seemed to have disappeared. Like what I was seeing was bringing me back to this, and what I was touching was bringing me back to this, and my thoughts were
Yes.
bringing me back to this. And yet also that it's gone, right? So yeah, I don't know, whatever you can say about that, I'd appreciate.
Yeah. No, that was a beautiful description of what happens when we make the effort to understand who we are. We get these glimpses of who we are, not who we think we are. but who we actually are. And these are these moments of peace and these moments of when everything seems to be pointing toward who we are. So tasting, touching, smelling, seeing, thinking, experiencing all seems to be pointing toward the self which is aware and is before all of this activity. And we can see this very clearly, just like you described it. It's so simple we almost don't believe it. But it's important for us to understand when we are caught in the confusion or we're not experiencing that. It's important for us to understand what is present because the mind will tell us, I have failed. I am not doing this right. I don't get it. I don't understand completely. And it will drive us back toward that misunderstanding once again. So it's important for us to know that even in the midst of this clouded state, or in advaita, we say in this state of veiled awareness, that all we're looking at is conditioning. We're just looking at conditioning. And in fact, it is our sadhana which brings us into moments of clarity that opens the space for us to see the conditioning that is preventing us from staying there all the time. Typically, what happens for quite some period of time until this is pointed out to us is that we think we are going back and forth because attention is going back and forth. Its attention is going to these moments of clarity, going to this understanding that everything is pointing toward the self. Attention is there. This is beautiful, lovely. We're happy, we're contented. And then it switches. And suddenly attention is going toward the pain, the suffering, the struggle, the cloud, the veiled mind. And what's not being realized is that that which we are is the awareness which was present in both of those apparent circumstances. And it is the foundation on which both experiences are sitting. And if we know this, then we are able to say, this is conditioning. And we're able to have a little bit of space between that which is aware and that conditioning. In other words, we don't let the attention go so deeply into the conditioned state of mind. We acknowledge what it is. We say, this is conditioning. And now we have this tool. This is conditioning, and I am not that. And then we have a gateway or a pathway back to, well, if I am not that, then who am I? And this brings the attention away from that conditioned state, away from that foggy state, away from that unclear state, and moves it back in the direction of the more clear state. And this is the nature of sadhana. And what will happen eventually is that when we have a strong determination, not as a big effort, but when we make the effort to pull the attention away from conditioning just by saying this is conditioning and I'm not that, not by making a big deal out of it. Oh no, I am failing. I didn't get it. I missed it again. I had it. I lost it. That whole dialogue has to come to an end. It has to be, this is conditioning. What is aware of this conditioning? I am aware of this conditioning. Who am I? It is to be like this. And then what happens is, over time, we begin to settle more and more peacefully for longer periods of time into this recognition that that which is aware of everything, but it is nothing which it is aware of. Because awareness is not an object. Awareness is a state of being. So we keep coming back to that. We keep coming back to that. So part of what we have to do is we have to make a decision. You can make it right in this moment that you are not going to believe what the mind tells you is true. Nothing the mind is telling you is true. It's all a lie. You are being lied to by your own mind. This is another way of defining conditioning. Conditioning is I am being lied to by my own mind.
Mm. Yeah,
So there
I
has,
totally see that. And the mind says you will find when there is the foggy state, you'll find the solution within my realm. So I start searching for an object, for something to hold on to.
yes,
And it's just
correct.
a stepping back that.
Yes, yes, yes. But you see, just by your ability to describe that says that you know that that's conditioning.
Mm.
So now in this, I hope you're in a more peaceful moment now, having met through our time together. Just know that you are not that.
Mm.
So you can go more quickly now. You don't need to be listening to this mind, which is arguing with you.
Mm.
You are unclear. You have to go, you have to come back up. You may listen to it because conditioning has momentum to it,
Mm.
right? You have been supporting that misunderstanding the mind has been supporting that misunderstanding for some years or some
Mm.
lifetimes. When one starts to say, that is conditioning, I am
Mm.
not that, and ask this deeper question, then who am I? Even with this conditioning present, I'm not trying to get rid of it. You can stay there on the screen. I don't care. Stay
Mm.
there. I am before that. What is before that? So this is how the inquiry goes deeper. It
Mm.
uses, like you said, it uses whatever's there, whatever's available on the screen, and it moves it back toward the source. The difference
Mm.
is that you described it as sometimes I can do it and sometimes I can't. Sometimes I can move back toward the source and sometimes I can't. Everyone needs to understand that the moment you recognize, even if what you are saying is, oh, I'm clouded, I've lost it, I don't know what's happening. This is the lie. This is the form of the lie of the mind because you have to be aware. Awareness has to be present in order for that statement to be seen.
Mm.
So if you can see the statement, I don't get it, I missed it, I lost it. If you can see that statement and realize that awareness is what makes it possible for you to see that statement as a thought in the mind,
Yeah.
you are already free of it in that moment. But you may have to do that many times, or, if you're caught in that cycle of a mind attack, you may have to do that 2 times, 4 times, 10 times, 20 times, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, recognizing this is conditioning and I am not that, or this is fear and I am not that, or this is desire and I am not that. So that this question, then who am I, can build the same kind of strength and resilience that the conditioning has built in the past.
Mm.
Now you are using the same habit which builds conditioning to build a new frame of reference. The interesting thing is, though, if you keep, like you said, if you keep going into those things, or you allow that conditioning to say, well, let's feel happy by doing this, let's feel happy by doing it, let's go chase this, let's go chase that, you know, and then we'll be happy. If you can use that same energy, but now it has to be, I am the self. Show me the self. I want to see that. I'm not going to chase that object. Show me the self. And of course, you cannot see the self, right? You can only be the self. So what happens is that by doing that, you transfer the momentum to a new direction, but it's the direction that goes back to the source. And what happens as we move more and more into the source, this me-ness, the conditioning, is destroyed. This is why the mind fights so hard
Mm.
to fog us over, cloud us, get us to go after some object and so on, to go back into the old habit, to go back to the conditioning. It fights so strongly because it already knows that if it goes in the direction you're telling it to go, who am I? Game is over. It's destroyed. It will be destroyed. It knows this. So Use the persistence of conditioning to remind yourself who you are. Come back over and over. Do it a million times. Be committed to doing it a million times. And somewhere along the way, you'll notice you don't have to do it anymore. You just simply are here now as being consciousness. It will happen.
Thank you so much, Rishi. I appreciate very much.
Yeah. You're so welcome. Happy to see you once again. Anil, wait 1 second. I'll get there to you. Just 1 second. Okay. Ram Ram, hello. Your microphone is off.
Okay, namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
So, thank you for that. So my question is simply this. You say the awareness is always there. There's no birth and no death. So here I am meditating on this question, what is aware?
Yes.
What would happen to this what is aware if suddenly my head's chopped off, my life ends right now? What happens? This
Yes.
awareness.
Yeah. So if you want to answer this question for yourself, I will answer it too, but if you want to answer this question for yourself, you can take up the meditation or the question or the inquiry. Show me my face before I was born. This comes from Chan Buddhism, but it's very effective. And the reason it's effective is because at the moment, the reason you're asking this question is because you think you are bound by this body. Okay? And you think that you are bound by that which is aware in the waking state. Okay? But that which is aware is not just in the waking state, is it? Do you know this from your own experience? That which is aware is also aware in the dream state, and it's also aware in the deep sleep state. And you know this two ways. One, if a loud noise goes off when you're sleeping and you're in a deep sleep state, you're immediately aware. So awareness was there, even though the body was in the deep sleep state. The mind was shut off. So waking state awareness was not present. And the other way is when you wake up in the morning, the very first thing you do, the very first thing without even thinking about it, is ask yourself, did I sleep well? I slept well? No, I didn't sleep well. The only way you can know that is because awareness was continuous there in the background, you can say, even in the deep sleep state. So awareness is what is the prior condition. In order to know that one is eternal, one has to be able to be this awareness through the question, who am I? What is aware here? What was my face? What was my original face before I was born? These kinds of questions take us through these layers, which cause us to believe that we are just the body or the limitation of the body or the limitation of the conditioning, or we are limited to the waking state. All of these conditions go down, go away, disappear, dissolve, whatever you want to say, through the question, who am I? So when you say, So what happens if someone I'm sitting here in meditation and someone cuts off my head? I say, good, cut off your own head. Huh? So this is an important part of meditation, is to realize that meditation is often framed as though we are trying to get something. We are trying to get enlightened. We are trying to uh, do something. We are trying to get a better rebirth the next time around. Something. There is some motivation in the beginning of this sort. But when we get to the point where we say, I'm cutting off my own head, I'm coming into meditation because I don't want any head. I want all the conditioning gone. I want the mind gone. I want everything gone. Everything is finished. What we are really saying is, one day I will not have this body. One day I will not have this mind. Show me what is eternal. We want to use this body and mind in order to break this sense of limitation that comes with tasting, touching, seeing, hearing, feeling, and experiencing. We want to break that connection. This granthi, this is called the knot in yoga, the granthi, the connection between the spirit of being and the idea, which we have most of the time before awakening, that I am the body or I am the mind. So we want to cut that knot. And this is the real purpose of meditation, to die before we physically die, so that we die into the self, not into the next reincarnation. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, good. You said that very quickly. Okay, good. So now swing the axe by yourself and chop off this head. Don't wait for somebody else to chop off your head. Chop it off yourself.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Inyo. Nice to talk with you. Okay, well, I have you now. Okay, thank you. Hello.
Hello, Master. Thank you. Um, so I have a question, or um, since you were talking from the start after the meditation till now, I realized that my hands are always like down. You cannot see it on camera, but it was like that all the time. And I'm doing like that, and I'm biting my nails, and all the time. And what is going on? And then I let it, and then I'm always focusing with what you're saying, and I'm very interested and excited to it. But then after 5 seconds, I realize my hand is again together. When did my hand get together again and start doing that? So my question is regarding this subconscious uh, thing of what do you think about this, the start of this idea to this body stress to always have to bite the nails. And I have it since childhood. I never stopped it until now, actually, this biting my nails and things. So this
Yeah,
was my question.
yeah. So the only thing I can say about it that would be really helpful for you is, right now, put your hands together and feel the sensation of your own touch. Can you feel the sensation of your own touch?
Yeah,
What is aware of that?
say again.
What is aware of that?
Can you clarify what you mean?
Are you aware of touch?
Yeah,
So Now, when you feel your hands move, don't tense up on me now. Don't get stiff. Don't get stiff. We don't want you to tense up on us here. We want you to feel this. This is touch, right? Touch is like this, and it's like, the hands are moving like this. So there is a feeling in you now that this is something you've done since childhood, even biting your nails. This is something you've done since childhood, and this is a problem. So let's turn it into a solution. You understand? So
Yeah.
now what I want you to do is just go ahead and freely touch your hands. Don't be afraid. Just freely. Yeah. You feel that?
Yeah.
What feels that?
Some type of awareness.
Some type of awareness. Good. That's a good start. So the reason I ask you to do this and the reason I suggest you continue with it is because you need to go from some type of awareness to, I don't care what type of awareness. I'm aware. I am aware. That which is aware is here now, and I am using touch. So it was just like Anil said, he had this experience where I think he said it was him, maybe it was the person before, that oh yeah, it was Leo. It was like everything goes back to awareness. So this is the practice of that: touching, tasting, smelling, seeing, hearing, thinking. We want to develop the habit that whenever we feel anything in the sphere of the senses experiencing, that we use that to go back to the awareness which is there first. You see, you say I start moving my hands and I don't know it. Okay, so that means you're not aware of it. It's an unconscious habit. It's an unconscious conditioning. So that's fine. You now use the conditioning to go back before the conditioning. So use the sensation of touch, ask the question, what is aware of this? And you'll see, and if it comes to you some kind of awareness, don't worry about the some kind. Just know this is awareness itself. And look toward the awareness, not toward what your hands are doing.
Yes.
And this can be done with hearing, seeing, tasting, touching, smelling, or thinking. As soon as you acknowledge that touching is happening, you are no longer caught by the touching or doing it unconsciously. You are doing it very consciously. So now come back to what is aware of the touching of the sensation. Okay?
Yeah.
And most of all, don't make it a problem. Make it part of your sadhana. Okay, I have this habit. It's an unconscious habit right now, but I'm going to bring it into conscious awareness, and then I'm going to look at the awareness that knows about this habit, that knows it's happening. Doesn't care why. Okay, it's very important. Don't care why. That's the story of the mind. So just use the sensation to come back to this pure being before the sensation was noticed. Okay? Okay.
Yes, Master. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Nice to see you. You see, there's nothing that is happening in your sense experience, in your waking state, in your dream state. There's nothing that's happening in any state of mind that is a problem unless it's unexamined. If it's examined and it's seen that it's pulling you out, then it becomes a bad habit. A bad habit eventually becomes an addiction or something. Just addiction as a way of thinking. It might become a physical addiction too, but it just as a way of thinking. So it might become that kind of thing. But as long as you are here now as awareness, and you remind yourself that you are not whatever you are looking at, that which I call the dynamic display of consciousness on the screen of awareness. As long as you remember that there's nothing in the dynamic display, not in this moment or any other moment, which limits you, as long as you remember that that which is aware is what makes it possible to see the dynamic display, whatever that display is, positive, negative, pleasurable, unpleasurable, whatever the dynamic display is, that which is here prior to this display arising on the screen is what you are. And that is unlimited being. Try it. Hello, Diana. Let me get you up on the screen here. Okay, turn on your microphone. Thank you.
Namaste, Rishi, namaste, all. What I feel, what you said with this so profound starting words, and is what happens here is this awareness is like turning into the heart. It's heart. I say awareness is the same
Yes,
as
it's heart.
as
It's heart, it's love, it's all of those things, yes.
So the experience of this last 2 weeks is like everything is magical, seeing from the heart. Everything is magical. And it is so on all levels, with all what is appearing, the smallest and the most believed, meaningful, on all levels, whatever is appearing, it's like this. It's for me, it's like the entrance of opening to equanimity. So it's the opening because it's so fresh and so ungraspable that this is possible in this magical thing, in this magical feeling, like also cleaning the teeth, for example. So it's like, how is this possible? Everything is become so magic, like a miracle somehow, like a miracle. And so doesn't matter anymore if there are things I like or so, or if I have a desire, for example, and I would like that it's fulfilled or whatever. So it goes on the same, like fixing the roof or sandblasting the walls or whatever. It is much more the opening for, oh my gosh, it's all here. How could I put it into an event situation? How could I put it in a kind of limitation event situation that comes and goes, instead of recognizing what Ramana gave here, what he unfolds here? The complete knowing, what is the real. What is the real? And this is permanent, and the rest could be unpermanent. You understand what I mean? What I mean?
Yes. Yes.
So it is this discovery that is so. It's like you give up a desire, you give up a very meaningful desire, and you empty out, and you are still. You just keep still with it, yeah. You just keep still, quiet with it, and then there's a moment that it is discovered. My gosh, what's happening here, what is unfolding here, what is truly happening here. It is undescribable. It is undescribable.
Very
Yes,
good.
so yes.
It is undescribable. So then we have to keep quiet then too. But we
Yes.
can enjoy it. But we can enjoy it, and we can. It's it's said in the scriptures that what the sage feels is continuous enjoyment. And this doesn't mean that nothing strange or weird or hard is not happening. It
Yes.
simply means that the sage has this much bigger view that sees the totality, sees the flow of life, and sees the way that everything is moving in its own time and in its own place. And so there's not in that case there is just the enjoyment of here now. Whatever is here now is understood, and yeah,
Is accepted, is taken because
and
is
received.
taken
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it is surrendered. It is surrendered completely. So if something is surrendered completely, there is also the complete trust into this surrendering. There's a complete trust. So what could happen? I mean, the divine is is all, is all.
Okay. Yeah.
Nothing to distinguish anymore for this is more liked or this is less liked, and it's also the total recognition that awareness is not personal. It has no, this is, I give more grace to this
Not
one
mine.
or less grace to that one. So this is totally discovered, discovered in a very healthy way, Yes, I can say.
Yes, yes, yes.
Freeing way, healthy in the sense of freeing way. No more expectation or so. Gratitude of course always, but no speciality or no special role you play or no, nothing like this. It's nothing. It all dropped. It just dropped.
Just drops. Yeah. Very good.
Thank
Very good.
you.
Thank you. Marissa, sometimes I can sense a body attack also. I was talking about mind attack, and she said, sometimes I can sense a body attack also, same medicine. Yes, the same medicine. Understand that mind is just is that more subtle aspect of body. So body we can say the the more dense manifestation of mind. The connection between nowadays in medicine and everything, we recognize that the body mind connection. So mind is a more subtle um, mm, kind of attack. Body attack sometimes is very direct and very painful and so on. Medicine is the same. Who is feeling this? Who knows this? Is this who I am? Am I limited to this? This kind of investigation is the medicine. So, yeah. And of course, with the body attack, um, uh, doesn't mean ignore your body until, well, you can. It's okay if you do. Doesn't mean ignore your body until the body disappears. If you need to do something with the body, do it, but do it as though it's not your body. Do it as though it doesn't belong to you. Do it like you would do with your car or your horse or some piece of equipment, it needs a little repair, repair it. But don't take it personally. It's just a tool that you need. You can use the body for sadhana, you can use the body for this, using the senses to point back toward that which is here prior to this sense of I am the body or I am the mind. So we want to go before that. So if the vehicle is in difficult repair at a certain point, then we want to at least have enough stability that we can continue with the inquiry. And there does come a point when that granthi, that knot, is cut between the limitations of the body mind and the direct perception of oneself as being consciousness, that things can come and go in the body, and there's much less involvement. There can be attention to what the body needs, but there's not a lot of emotional involvement, just what the body needs. And the direct perception that, every moment of awareness is a fortunate moment, regardless of what is present, because there is going to come a moment when there will not be a moment of awareness in the body, because awareness will have departed the body. And so one is always aware of that and uses this as a motivation, to stay in this question, who or what am I? Until one knows, so that when the time comes that the body is left behind or left alone, and one is once again returns to the eternal, then one is prepared for that, and it happens as easily as possible, even under difficult circumstances. So again, the question being that as long as you believe you are the body or the mind or the body-mind, it's very useful. So when it appears to be there's a body attack or a sense of pain or suffering or struggling in the body, the medicine for that is still who is aware of this, who is aware of this. And if you do this repeatedly with persistence over many days, weeks, months, or years, whatever it takes, you will see that this question, who, is always resonant within the body mind. And so that when the body mind starts to experience a period of difficulty, the question, who, comes naturally. And one can feel already that there is a sense of positive experience that I am not the body, I am not the mind. I am that which is aware, and that which is aware is here before whatever the mind or body attack might look like or how it might present itself. Something I don't say very often, but I should say more often, and that is that, you have to be very kind to yourself, and you have to understand that to even be willing to ask these kinds of questions that we're talking about tonight, or to ask yourself these questions when you're under a body attack or a mind attack, just the fact that you are here and you are willing to ask yourself these questions means that you already have a firm foundation that requires a lot of courage. And so, yes, maybe you get lost in the conditioning for a short period of time or for some longer period of time. But the fact that you are willing to ask these questions of yourself indicates that you have already, from either in this lifetime or from some other time, you have the capacity to ask yourself these questions because you are courageous. In some way, you are not afraid. The mind might be afraid, but I am not afraid. In my deepest knowing, I'm not afraid to ask this question. In fact, I want to ask this question because one day I might not have access to this body-mind. So I need to ask this question now. This needs to be your attitude all the time, no matter how difficult it gets. Be willing to ask the question. Who am I? What is aware here? If you know who you are, then you become fearless. Doesn't mean you don't die. It means you die fearlessly. Doesn't mean you don't have pain. It means you have pain fearlessly. It doesn't mean you don't suffer in your mind from emotional turmoil, from trauma, from experience. It means that you face it fearlessly. This is the liberation of mind. When we talk about liberation, the vehicle that we're using in this sadhana is really the liberation of subtle mind. We're going back through layer after layer after layer of experience. And as we go through layer after layer from body to mind to sensation to so on and so on, subtle fields, what we're doing is we're letting go of fear. That's all we're doing. We're letting go of fear. And as we let go of fear, we begin to experience the natural, coherent liberation and freedom, which is the nature of being consciousness. This is why you often hear me just say, keep going, keep going, keep going. This means keep going to the center, keep going to that which is here, to that which you are, not going back into your old habits and into your old conditioning. Just keep going, keep going. Maybe I should say, keep coming, keep coming. So be very kind to yourself. Whatever you think is going on, I said earlier, know this one thing. If you want to be very kind to yourself, your mind is lying to you. Your mind is lying to you. That is conditioning. Your mind is conditioned. It is lying to you. Don't believe it. You are free. Keep coming. Keep coming. Don't believe any of it. You are free. There's nothing else for you to do. That's the real medicine. Don't believe what the mind is telling you. Don't believe what the body is going through. It is just going through what it has to go through. The mind is doing what it has to do, but you are not that. You are free. Everything else is a concept. The body is a concept. The mind is a concept. Thoughts are concepts. Pain is a concept. Run through the body. You are free, even when you are in pain. Keep going. All right, my friends, I wish you all a beautiful day or night, depending on where you are. May you have good health. May you be well. May you be peaceful. May you know yourself as being consciousness and bliss. This is your nature. You know this is true. You can feel it in your heart when you hear me say it. You are being consciousness. You are truth. Everything else that the mind is telling you, it's a lie. Tell it, go sit in the corner. I'm not listening to you anymore. I am here. I am now. I am being, consciousness, and bliss. Hari Om Tat Sat.